Well, maybe I should introduce myself first.
Yeah, of course.
My name's Chris Milburn, born and raised in Cape Breton, and I'm a doctor here in Nova Scotia for the last 18 years. I've been a physician now 22 years. Mask question is difficult. The college sent us out a warning not to be an anti-masker. So right off the hop, that says that they believe in masks and they think that masks are good. It's not that simple. And again, there's an answer somewhere between masks are completely useless and masks are great and we should always wear them until the end of time. And I think I can hopefully explain it well. And I'll get a little sciencey here. I'll go all sciencey on you, but there's this concept, it's called absolute risk reduction versus relative risk reduction. So for instance, if I had a little pinger that you wore on your wetsuit that repelled sharks, and let me say it was 99% effective. Well, that pinger, you might very well want to wear that pinger if you're reef diving off Hawaii. But that same pinger, if you were wearing that in a freshwater lake in Nova Scotia, it would probably mean you're a paranoid schizophrenic because there are no sharks in the freshwater lake. Relative risk reduction is 99%. It reduces the risk of shark attacking by 99%. But you have to look at what is the risk of you getting attacked by a shark. And if the risk is zero, then that is worth zero. So the absolute risk reduction can be zero, even though the relative risk reduction is 99%. So they're two different concepts. What we've lost with our thinking on masks is we just said masks are good and they help, or masks are bad and they don't help. But the problem with that is you have to look at, is a mask going to help me? Well, if there's no COVID around, it's not going to help you. And so the other problem with masks is that clearly the relative risk reduction is not high. Even if you believe that they work at all, which is debatable. The best study that I saw was from Denmark. And what it showed was that people who wore the mask for 3 months had a 10% less risk of getting COVID. So you can say, well, that's 10%, that's great. Or you could say, Jesus, 10%, 3 months continuous mask wearing, it's not worth it to me. And again, it's not a scientific decision. It's a bit of a how much do I hate masks decision. So when you give people that information, some would choose to wear a mask and some wouldn't. Now, when you go to a very low environment, like Nova Scotia right now, we have a little over 10 active cases in the whole province. Presumably, most of them are self-isolating. So your odds of, if you walk around the street and you'd have to pass 100, 150, 200,000 people probably to run into somebody with COVID. And then even if you do run into somebody with COVID, the odds that that mask is going to stop it are not 100%. So you multiply your, say, 1 in 100,000 by whatever the mask is, 1 in 10, 1 in 100 for a single brush by a person in a building or outside somewhere. And then you end up coming up with this number of the likelihood that that mask is going to help you is 1 in a million, 1 in millions. And then you multiply it by the risk that would actually be serious for you and you would get symptomatically ill from it, which again is another step down. And it gets down to the point where a mask might not be useless, but it's so close to useless that to force everybody to wear them all the time, it just seems a little insane.